Hi, you're on Bible Answers.
Hi, Pastor.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Got to tell you, your phone sounds a lot better.
Yes, thank God. It's thank God.
So you have a new
I think it
phone?
was it was an old phone, I guess, according to what people tell me.
Do you have
So I
a new provider too, or just a new phone?
a new phone.
Well, hey, it works, and it's so much better.
Oh, thank God, right?
Amen. So how can I help you tonight?
I have a couple of things. First of all, I believe I was watching a show with my mom and my sister-in-law. It was, I believe it was Dr. Phil. Okay, now on this show, there was a lady on there who wanted to euthanize her grown children because they were, like, I guess supposedly vegetables. They were, like, they had some kind of a disease where they were normal when they were kids, and then as they grew up, they started how do I say it, degressing, and basically they don't know how to talk, and they need a lot of assistance. And this lady actually wanted to euthanize them. They're grown up like in their 40s, like in some kind of a nursing home or something, and I was just totally blown away. And then Dr. Phil, like, he had asked for a raise of hands to see, in the audience, to see if the lady, what people thought. And the only very few people did not, only very few people were not in favor of the
Euthanizing adults. Okay.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't think God would allow, like, if somebody was a total vegetable and they weren't enjoying their life, and this lady was trying to justify her reason for doing that, and I don't know, I just kind of like wanted to, like, talk about it.
Okay. Well, this is a great question. Now, we need to get, because I didn't see the show, we need to be specific here. What did she want to do to euthanize her kids?
Well, she feels that her kids are.
No, you didn't hear my question. How did she want to do it?
How? I guess injection.
Okay, so we're not talking about they're fighting for life and they're being sustained on a machine and pulling the plug. We're talking about actual. In ethics, we would call this active euthanization. So you're actually giving them poison or an injection or shooting them in the forehead or something to say we're going to actively end their life. We're not talking about I'm going to withdraw, a life support. We're talking about actively ending their life. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. That's exactly what it is.
Okay, so because I think it's very important when we talk about the subject euthanasia, there's a whole spectrum that we can be talking about. And before I start to launch, and I'm about to launch, I just want folks to understand we're not talking about your relative is 70 years old and said or your relative is dying of cancer and said, listen, if I start to fade away, don't do any extraordinary measures, or if I get put on life support, you can go ahead and pull the plug. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about an act of murder to cease, to make a living person die. Yes?
Yes, and
okay.
Supposedly, like the two kids, they're in their 40s, but they're just so severely retarded, and they have to be fed through a tube and all that stuff.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal with that. Well, let me ask you. What would make society, you said most folks were in favor of this, what would make society so twisted as to say that if your kids are no longer valuable, it's okay to kill them? What do you think?
I know.
No, I'm asking you a question. What do you
Yeah.
think has made society that twisted?
The devil.
Yeah, but what?
The what?
What? What has the devil used? I'll tell you.
Oh, the devil uses well, doesn't it have to do like with the fall of man, like with Adam and Eve?
You're getting too complicated. You know what it is? We've had over 30 years where folks say it's okay to murder my unborn baby
Mm-hmm.
if the unborn baby is going to make my life inconvenient. It
Yeah.
only makes sense to say now, I can murder my born child if I don't think that my born child is convenient anymore. And hey, and basically that's what he's saying. Hey, you know what? You can't talk to me. You can't make me happy anymore. You're going to be. You used to make me happy, but you don't make me happy anymore. And so therefore, let's go ahead and terminate your life. Listen, if that happens, and it will, by the way, and you can guarantee when our when Obamacare comes through and our care starts getting rationed more and more, you can guarantee that this kind of thing is going to happen more and more. They're going to go, hey, listen, it's expensive to keep old people around in the nursing home. If you could say, hey, listen, they don't even really know where they are anyway. Nobody really cares about them anymore, and they would be just better off if they were just pushing daisies somewhere. Give them a nice, comfortable pill, and let's just ease their suffering. You know what? That kind of thing is going to happen. We've already opened the door 30 years ago when we're murdering babies. Now we'll be murdering invalids. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And you saw something that scared you from Dr. Phil that says, you know what? The majority of people are already ready to kill grandma. They're already ready to kill the retarded person down the street. It's going to happen. And that's because we have come so far. You know, she's talking about putting her kids down like you'd put down a sick dog. That's the other reason. The other reason is because of evolution. If we think that all we are is smarter chimpanzees, just another animal, that there's no distinction from human life to animal life, then, man, if you don't have a problem going out and putting down old Della the mule, she's done a good life, but her leg's broke now, or she's kind of suffering. Let's just end her suffering. Boom. Okay, poor Della. Let's bury her. You know. And now, once we view ourselves as animals, just animals, why not just put the kid down too? It makes sense. It's going to happen, and it's going to grow, and it ought to scare the tar out of you.
Yeah, and the lady that was against it, she was crying. This lady in the audience, she did not want the lady to kill her kids. She had special needs kids too. And there's a lady in the church that I go to who raised, along with her husband, three special needs kids. I think they ended up having to put them when they grew up. They had to put them in a home or something.
That's right.
But this woman raised 3 kids that had really special needs.
Profound mental retardation. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But yet they valued their life. See, the thing is now, you say, hey, you're not pleasurable to me, you're a burden to me, therefore your life is not quality. Well, I want to tell you what, you talk to the person who is living a life that says, my life is quality, I'm alive. You know, this is not a place where we need to be. I appreciate that question, and I hope I helped you. I got another person on. Do you have another question for me?